The morning after the night before, and I'm still buzzing. Did I see it coming? Nah, not a chance. Especially when they took the lead. I was like, forget it. Here we go again. This is Tottenham Chelsea. This is when it really matters. This is when we're in a really good opportunity to get ourselves a lot further than we normally expect to be, to keep us on track for another trophy. So yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all. First half performance I felt was poor. I felt that we were running around like headless chickens, trying to capture every ball that we could from a Chelsea team who were really well drilled. They were passing really well, really slick, really fast. They were closing us, they were moving us, and it just felt almost like desperation for me, watching the players running around like they were. But to be fair, I think, as time went on, we did start to grow into the game, and I have looked at the opportunities and the highlights today, and actually we had a few more opportunities than I thought at the time. I felt that we were out of the game most of the time, but actually when you look back at the opportunities, I felt that actually it wasn't as bad as I really felt at the time. I guess that's just the stress of being a Tottenham fan, the fact that we watched the game and all you're looking at is the negatives, and seeing our players getting pulled all over the place. Region, poor lad, first start in a London derby against a team that historically we don't do very well against. In patches maybe, but not overall. We've got a terrible record against them. And in recent years, it seems to have become like a bigger game for certainly the players than the Tottenham Arsenal game. I don't think it is for the fans. I still hate Arsenal more than I hate Chelsea. I just really dislike Chelsea because of their attitude of their fans sometimes, and just the way it kind of all come about for them. But it is what it is. But to be fair to them, I felt they played really, really well. They were really well organised and put us under an awful lot of pressure. And if it wasn't for the fact that they couldn't finish, I think the game would have been out of sight to them. But poor old Sergio, he lost the ball in midfield, cutting in on his left. I don't know how good he is on his right, but he seemed to be really sort of bothered about passing with his right or moving the ball and doing something simple. Got himself caught in possession. He had some great pace to get himself back to defend, but then did the most stupid thing of diving in and sliding straight past and made himself look a complete twonk, to be fair. Straight up on his feet, straight back at it. But the ball got played in, and the defence just made an absolute fudge of it. To be fair, they all kind of, one missed it, one stepped over it, and Werner took the ball, drilled it straight in. Nothing Hugo could really do without going through a crowd of players, and there you go. 1-0 down, and to be fair, it felt like it was all over. I thought, oh, here we go. It's just going to be another one of them games. Mourinho had almost called it. This isn't really important. I think somewhere I read that you get an extra 10 grand or 100 grand or something for going through to this next round of the Carabao Cup, whereas with the Europa it's in the millions. So that shows you what the Carabao Cup means to clubs. It means a lot more to fans than it does to clubs, for sure, because obviously for us it's silverware, for them it's finance. So but yeah, I did think it was going to be one of them days, but fair play. You have to give credit where credit's due. I felt that certainly the second half performance was really, really good, really strong. The guys put an absolute shift in. Lamela was, running around, and at one point I thought, here we go, it won't be long before he's off the pitch. But no, he managed to play the full 90, and and obviously when we needed him, he was in the right position to knock that ball into the back of the net and give us that lifeline to take us to penalties. Great ball in by Sergio, who more than made up for his mistake early on in the game by putting a real shift in. I thought we played really well, and it was good overall. And Dombele saw the 90 out as well. Run his socks off, worked really hard. Sissoko, I felt, worked really hard as well. And of course, you can't not mention the Dyer and going for a poo situation. I mean, it's not a normal scenario. I don't know what's going on there, but maybe we can call it his lucky poo, and that's what sees us through to the end. But yeah, Lamela taking that opportunity was brilliant. 84 minutes I think it was, and then you're back in the game. And to be honest with you, I did feel that the goal was coming all the way through it, although I just felt that luck would always be against us, as it normally is. But no, we saw it through. We got to penalties, and every penalty scored, massive, and because we don't normally do very well at that either. So to see all 5 of those go in was amazing. I wasn't expecting Chelsea to miss one like that. I was expecting it to go to sudden death. But Mason Mount stepping up and missing was a shock to me. Hitting the post, to be fair to him. But yeah, we go on. We move on to the next round, and we still keep going. And I think overall, our management of the last sort of couple of weeks since the season started again, and going to Bulgaria and going to Moldova, and the midweek games and stuff, I think we've done particularly well, given that we haven't got all of our business done yet. Harry Kane has to come on again, and I think we know that we desperately need another striker. Not someone who can back him up, not someone who can come in and support when required, but someone who can push him, someone who can really challenge him for his position, because I think he really needs that. We've been trying to get another striker since Harry Kane came through. I've mentioned this before. We've just been very lucky that Kane has worked out the way he has, because every other striker that we've brought in has been not very good at all. Not really done anything for us. So, once in a lifetime player coming through for your team. And whilst I'm sure he's got plenty of years still left in him yet, I think we need to be looking at where we go from here, because we really do rely on him at the moment, and that's not really where we want to be. So hopefully this will be the transfer window where we fill that gap with another week to go. So hopefully that will see us through. We can march on. So we're now on to Thursday and a game against Maccabi Haifa, again at home. Great to still be at home. At least we haven't got the travelling to worry about, and hopefully we'll get through on that and get ourselves into the group stages of the Europa, and it's all still to play for. So happy days, happy Yid. Here we go again, up the Spurs.